Hi, this is Mike Cuddy, and I'm here with my latest project. A couple years ago, I think it was almost 4 years ago, I did a project using the NASA API that kind of looked at meteorites close to Earth and some other small features. And this project is another NASA API project, but it's a lot more expansive and a much wider. So here's a home page, and as you can see, I have this area here. You can select to go to all these different pages. And a homepage is a fairly simple page. It talks just show you what area it is and everything. So if I go make it, it's fairly responsive page. So here's that, but now let's start looking at it. I'll go right to the about page. That's just my typical about page, just so I can focus on the project. And if I start here, the people in space page, this basically shows you all the astronauts currently in space. I was trying to decide if I wanted to remove this black border or something I may do down the line. But this page is the only page. I actually got it from a Team Treehouse course that I was doing. And I was like, when I thought of this project, I was happening to do this course. And I was like, oh, it's a NASA, kind of like a space API, and so I'll use it and throw it in my project. But this is supposedly all the people currently in space, and I have to admit, I didn't actually think it was that accurate because for the longest time when I was working on this project, I only had 4 people up here. It was essentially this guy is new here, this Russian, but besides that, these 3 were basically up there constantly. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that these people appeared down here. So yeah, I think it's an up to date thing, and I'll look at some of the code on this page in a moment. Then if I go over to picture, this actually pulls the picture of the day from the NASA API, and some of the pictures are pretty incredible. It has some high definition video as well that comes in from YouTube from day to day, depending. So just whatever NASA puts up as a picture video of the day, it has an explanation. But yeah, some of the pictures are absolutely mind blowing how they look. Then if I go to the Mars page here, basically allows you to see, you can select different cameras from a rover on Mars. Not the recent rover. I think this is the Curiosity right there, obviously. I'm not 100% sure what Sol Day means and how that works, but you can basically select something, and let's see if I change the date, if anything comes up. So it's slightly changed. You get some more photos that just kind of repeat. So I was going to try to do more of this by showing different cameras and kind of different views, but I didn't really understand how the Sol Day worked, and I didn't want to get too much into that to focus more on the project. Here's EVAs coming out by a year, starting in what was it? The 1965 is the first one, and here you can kind of search for a ship, look at Gemini, and submit, and it comes up talking about people that left the ship to actually go out and walk around. And if I actually click on this, it should bring me up a drill down, a table of everything that's happening there during that time frame. So this graph right here has a drill down attached to it. Then finally, missions is right here, the final page, and this is mission count by year. So how many missions total around the world went up. So in 1958 there was 3. In 2019 there's 117. Down here, we can basically look at companies. So if we want to look at SpaceX, we can start with the year and put that in. You'll see it changing. If we just want to focus on SpaceX missions that were successful, we could put that in. And if you see that it has data from 1960 to the present, but let's kind of zoom more in and go to like 2010. And now we see it changing right here. So successful missions, total missions. And this here is a bubble chart. I originally didn't like this at all. I kept it because I want to use more bubble charts, and it wasn't turning out how I wanted to. But if I just change here, this is missions by location. So in 1958, ignore that January 1st. It's something I have to go and fix. But 23 missions were launched from the US, 5 from Kazakhstan. It can change the year. Yeah, I know it's not really good with the bubble chart because the sizes should be changing and everything like that. So I could have added more features to that, and or just kept on a simple graph like here, a bar chart I should have used for this. But you see, as each year goes forward, you're going to see more and more countries come in. So I know I've looked up all the way to like the 2000s. You get Japan, multiple countries, like 5 France in there. Yep, there's France appearing. So that's basically the whole project. And I enjoyed making this, and I'll show some of the code here, especially for this people page, which I would have to say is the longest chaining I've ever done with a promise. So doing one dot then dot then dot then going down. And for the project for the Vuex portion of this, I actually broke each page up into its separate modules. Sort of the EVA, the Mars page, it's all broken up coming into this index.js page right here. So this made it really easy to look at the code, and of course each page had its different like components. So everything on the Mars page was together, everything on the missions page was together. So overall, I really enjoyed working on this project. I think I could have probably broken up the Python classes a little bit more, leaving stuff in here and making it easier to read, but I try to keep them fairly simple here, and this helper really has a lot of code in it at times. So yeah, this project was built with Vue.js and Python, the Flask web framework, and NumPy and Pandas. So I hope you enjoy this project.